Students, we are on the last chapter from the unit of ecology, that is environmental issues. हमने organisms देखे हैं, हमने पूरा ecosystem देखा है. We have seen how diverse the ecosystem is. Today we will see how we are exploiting our environment, how we are exploiting our natural resources to the maximum and thus polluting it. This chapter is the easiest one amongst all the chapters in the unit of ecology. So you will just go through these notes, go through the lecture when you are in a calm environment, okay? It's an easy one, just go through it, make your notes. Because you have to write answers from it in your state board textbook, you have to make notes. Read the NCERT textbook with me and you will be done with all the MCQs which can be asked from this question in your NEET exam. Okay, so let us start. Environmental issues. What is pollution? Basically what I'll be speaking in this lecture today, you all know. Majority of it you know, alright? We'll just be revising it. So pollution is any undesirable change. Undesirable means we are not desiring this change to happen, but it is happening. It's an undesirable change in physical, chemical or biological characteristics. Any undesirable change in physical, chemical and biological characteristics of air, water and land. जिन पे हम dependent हैं. Okay, we are dependent on air, we are dependent on water and we are dependent on land to survive here. So any undesirable change, that is changing the physical, chemical or biological characteristics of air, water, land and causing harmful effects to all the living organisms including humans, animals, plants and our cultural assets and even the microorganisms. Means any living organism as well as our cultural assets, means our monuments, it is harmful to all these is pollution. So pollution की definition, any undesirable change in physical, chemical, biological characteristics of air, water, land, which is bringing about harmful effects to humans, animals, plants and our cultural assets and to every living organism on this planet is pollution. Alright, so now what causes pollution? What causes pollution? The substances which cause pollution are called pollutants. Pollutants. Who causes pollution? Pollutants cause pollution. That is undesirable change in the environment. Alright, so what are these pollutants? A pollutant can be any non-living substance, जैसे कि dust या smoke. It can be any physical factor, that is heat or noise. It can be any chemical and it can be any living creature, any biotic component or any living agent which is bringing about this undesirable change in the environment. The word undesirable is very important over here for your definitions, for your MCQs. And pollutant can be a non-living substance, can be a living substance, can be a chemical, can be a physical factor. Again, important for MCQs. Alright, and basically, if in short, if I want to tell you what is pollutant, what is a pollutant? It is a substance which is a wrong substance present at the wrong time, in the wrong quantity and in the wrong place. Means it is not at all desired at that place, at that time, in that quantity is a pollutant. Wrong substance present at the wrong time, in the wrong quantity, in the wrong place is a pollutant for your MCQs. Alright, now substances may be useful to us in low concentrations. मतलब low amount में हमारे लिए ये pollutants जो हैं वो useful हो सकते हैं. That is the time when we will not call them pollutants. They will be called pollutants only if they are bringing about undesirable change. If the change is desirable, if they are useful, then that substance will not be called pollutant at that place and at that time. Very important to note over here. So low concentration में बहुत सारे substances are useful to us, but if you increase the concentration, they become harmful. We'll be speaking of these pollutants जो low concentration में useful रहेंगे, high concentration में harmful रहेंगे. Alright, so you have to remember this about the pollutants. Pollutants can be divided into primary and secondary types. Primary means वो जैसे रिलीज होगा एटमॉस्फेयर में उसी फॉर्म में रहेगा. Okay, if they remain in the same form in which they are released from the source, means whatever form they are released in उसी form में atmosphere में रहेंगे and they will be causing the undesirable change. Whereas secondary pollutants will be pollutants where the primary pollutant ये जो release हुआ है atmosphere में is reacting either with the atmospheric gases or is reacting with the sunlight or is reacting with other primary pollutants to form more harmful compounds. So secondary pollutants will be more harmful than the primary pollutants. Secondary pollutants will be a reaction of primary pollutants with the atmosphere, with the sunlight, with the other primary pollutants to form more harmful compounds. The phenomenon is called synergism. Okay, जब add on होके, जब दो तीन substances की property add on होके एक ज़्यादा complex substance बोलता है, we call it synergism. Okay, so it forms more harmful compounds. So to reduce the effect of these pollutants, now we know that these pollutants are producing an undesirable change in our environment. They are causing pollution of air, pollution of water, pollution of land, pollution of noise. Okay, so we have to do something. We have to do something to reduce these pollutants. We have to do something to reduce these pollutants now. So the Environment Protection Act was passed by the government in 1986. Important MCQ, Environment Protection Act 1986, where they spoke of reducing these pollutants so that we can reduce pollution of air, water, land, noise. Alright, and World Environment Day is celebrated on 5th June every year. Important MCQ, World Environment Day, Environment Protection Act. Now we will start with air pollution, which is the principal source of pollution. We are dependent on air for a lot many things. All living beings are dependent on air. Alright, so we will speak of air pollution now. Air pollution is defined as presence of materials in the air in such concentration which are harmful to man and his environment. This is the best definition of air pollution given by the WHO. It is defined as the presence of any materials in the air in such concentration which are harmful to man and his environment. So air pollutants are the substances which will be polluting the air. We are dependent on air for our respiratory functions. It can damage our respiratory system if the air is polluted. All the animals and humans are dependent on air for respiration. In the plants also, if the air is polluted, it can reduce growth and yield of crops. It can cause premature death of the plants. So air should be fresh. We all need fresh air to breathe. Okay, even the plants need it. And this air pollutant, how much harmful effects the air pollutants are going to cause on a particular individual will depend on the concentration of the pollutant at that particular time. It will depend on the duration of exposure. कितना time में expose हो रही हूँ polluted air में. It's going to depend on that. It's going to depend on the concentration of the pollutants in the air which I am breathing, and it is going to depend on the organism's threshold. कौन से organism की कितनी capacity है. So air pollutants कितना harmful effect produce करेंगे in any organism is going to depend on the concentration, is going to depend on the duration of exposure, and is going to depend on the organism's capacity. Okay, which organism it is acting on. And we do require fresh air. Now air pollution can be from natural sources and can be from man-made sources. Yes, naturally भी air pollute होती है because of natural conditions. I will write down now natural sources of air pollution and man-made sources of air pollution. Basically, air can be polluted by natural occurrences also, by natural incidences also, जैसे volcanoes हो गए, forest fire हो गई, spores, pollens, okay, in the atmosphere, electric storms, cyclones, which are dust storms, UV radiations. All these are natural sources of air pollution. Air can be polluted by these natural occurrences in the environment. And there can be man-made sources of air pollution because of which man is exploiting the environment. So man is polluting the air, combustion of our fossil fuels, then automobiles exhaust, then industries. Our automobiles and industries are contributing majorly to air pollution. Automobiles is the first amongst this list. As number of vehicles are increasing in the cities, okay, number of vehicles are increasing day by day. This automobile exhaust is contributing maximum to air pollution. Then industries, then mining, our railways, thermal plants, agricultural burning, okay, burning of agricultural fields, our flour mills, wheat mills, rice mills, all are flour mills, cotton mills, stone crushes, all these are sources of air pollution by humans, that is man-made, which is also called anthropogenic air pollution, that is man-induced, man-made. Man is exploiting more and more its natural resources and causing air pollution, whereas these can be the natural sources of air pollution. Now I'll tell you what are the major air pollutants in the air. Now polluted air mainly contains carbon monoxide, which is the main exhaust from our automobile. इसलिए मैंने बोला था कि automobiles are the major source of air pollution. Polluted air, if you see the composition, majorly it is of 50% of it is carbon monoxide, then 18% is sulfur dioxide, 12% is hydrocarbons, 10 to 12% is particulate matter, 6% is nitrous oxide, and 2% is others. This 2% includes mercury, phosgene, methyl isocyanate, ammonia, fluoride, etc. So majorly carbon monoxide, important MCQ. Then it will also have sulfur dioxide, hydrocarbons, particulate matter, nitrous oxide, and others, which include mercury, phosgene, ammonia, fluoride, methyl isocyanate. Okay, the air, that is fresh air, without any pollutants, is majorly made up of 78% of nitrogen and 20.95% of oxygen. This is again an important MCQ, that this is the fresh air which we need, and air can be polluted. When all these pollutants come into the air, they cause air pollution. These are the air pollutants. Now these air pollutants can be gaseous, that is they can be gases present in the air, or they can be particulate matter which is present in the air. Particulate matter means it can be soot, it can be hair, it can be fur, it can be dust, it can be pollen, any large particles, that is the particulate matter which can be present in the air and can pollute it, and the others will be gases which will be mixed in the atmosphere. Alright, so particulate matter will be large size particles which are more harmful than these gaseous ones. Particulate matter, that is the suspended matter present in the air, which is not a gas and it is a pollutant. We have discussed air pollutants can be classified into gaseous and particulate matter. This particulate matter can again be classified into settleable particulate matter and suspended particulate matter depending on the size of the particulate matter. Settleable will be greater than 10 micrometers. तो ये जो बड़े बड़े particles रहेंगे which are greater than 10 micrometers, gradually they come and settle down at the bottom. They don't remain in the air for more than 1 day. That is, they remain in air for less than 1 day. These are settleable particulate matter which is greater than 10 micrometer. They are big particles, तो नीचे आ जाते हैं, settle हो जाते हैं. They don't remain in the air for more than a day. Important MCQ, settleable particulate matter greater than 10 micrometer, important MCQ, they remain in air for only less than a day. It requires a day or less than it for them to come and settle down. So important MCQ with these. Then you have the suspended particulate matter. Anything which is less than this 10 micrometer now is not going to come and settle down. It is going to stay suspended in the air. So we are calling it suspended particulate matter. SPM जो हम बोलते हैं, it is always referred to suspended particulate matter. Although settleable also starts with S, but SPM ये जो बोलते हैं is related to suspended particulate matter. It is less than 10 micrometers in size. It remains in air for more than a day to several weeks. That is, it is not something which is coming and settling down and freeing the air, making the air fresh. It is going to remain suspended in the air. Now, according to the Center of Pollution Control Board, okay, Pollution Control Board, particulate matter of less than equal to 2.5 micrometers in size is of greatest harm to human health because it can be inhaled deep into the lungs. It causes inflammation, irritation of the lungs. It causes breathing problems. It causes premature death. Particulate matter of less than equal to 2.5 micrometer, according to the Central Pollution Control Board, is of greatest harm to human health. Important MCQ, greater less than equal to 2.5 micrometer. This is of greatest help to human health. According to Pollution Control Board, it can be inhaled deep into the lungs. All these are important MCQs over here with the suspended particulate matter. Now, we do have the suspended matter which is of less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter, which is again classified into aerosol, which is less than 1 micrometer diameter, dust, which is greater than 1 micrometer diameter, and mist, which is liquid particles. Okay, mist is liquid droplets, small tiny liquid droplets of greater than 1 micrometer. These are suspended particulate matter of very small size. These can be inhaled. Any particulate matter of less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter is harmful to human health. It can be inhaled deep. It can cause inflammation, can cause irritation, can cause breathing problems. ये सब लिख लो यहाँ पे. Okay, it can cause premature death. So all this is about the air pollutants. Now I'll speak of carbon monoxide, I'll speak of sulfur dioxide, hydrocarbons. वो जो pie chart था उसमें से हमने particulate matter के बारे में discuss किया है. I'll shortly discuss about all the air pollutants and then we move on how we can control this air pollution. Carbon monoxide is the principal pollutant in the air. We have seen 50% of it in the polluted air. You basically get it from the automobiles. So automobiles का use कम करना पड़ेगा या emission of carbon monoxide from the automobiles we will have to control. Then metallurgic industries, forest fire, decomposition of organic matter, cigarette smoke, all these are sources of release of carbon monoxide, the principal source being the automobiles. Now, if in the air carbon monoxide oxidizes with oxygen, combines with oxygen, reacts with oxygen, oxidation होगा तो carbon dioxide produce होता है, which is not that much harmful. Alright, so if this happens, it is okay, but for that oxygen should be available. So air में थोड़ा fresh oxygen होना चाहिए, which can oxidize, which can react with this carbon monoxide and produce carbon dioxide. In closed areas, however, in closed areas जहाँ पे oxygen नहीं है, carbon monoxide, it can react with hemoglobin. It has 200 times more affinity for hemoglobin than the oxygen, important MCQ, and it can form carboxyhemoglobin, which can result in suffocation, giddiness, it can result in headache. This is what you experience in a closed pub, okay, in a closed environment where there are a lot of people and there is cigarette smoking going on, there is no fresh air. Carbon monoxide जो release हो रहा है, it's going to react with hemoglobin in your body and produce carboxyhemoglobin, because of which suffocation, giddiness and headache is experienced for a new person who is in that environment. Alright? Air pollutants is the oxides of sulfur, which can be sulfur dioxide or sulfur trioxide. Now this source, from where are they released into the air, can be smelting by the smelting procedures, then petroleum industries by the refining of petrol, paper making industries, volcanic eruptions, burning of petrol, again automobiles आ रहा है यहाँ पे, जहाँ पे petrol burn होगा. So automobiles are burning more and more petrol, again sulfur is released, then thermal plants. All these are the sources. Whereas the dangerous effects of sulfur compounds or sulfur dioxide include acid rain. Acid rain is a very important effect, very important MCQ. You have to select sulfur oxides or sulfur dioxide with acid rain. It is because sulfur dioxide combines with water to form sulfuric acid. This sulfuric acid is an important component of acid rain. The pH of acid rain is less than 5.6. pH of acid rain is less than 5.6. So imagine how much acidic it is. Whereas the pH of normal rain is 5.6. to 6.5 and above. pH of normal rain is 5.6 to 6.5 and above, whereas pH of acidic rain is less than 5.6. Important MCQ related to sulfur dioxide. When it combines with water, it forms sulfuric acid. So this is acid rain. It is very dangerous. Then sulfur can also cause chlorosis, that is reduction in the chlorophyll pigment in the plant. So the leaves, they don't appear green. वो थोड़ी सी yellowish दिखेगी, थोड़ा सा brownish tinge दिखेगा. It causes chlorosis. It causes necrosis of the vegetation. Our plants, our vegetation, they start dying. You can see they are getting black, they are dying. Necrosis होता है उसका. Lichen and mosses, they also start showing sulfur dioxide pollution, effects of sulfur dioxide pollution. Also the garden pea. These both are in fact regarded as indicators. इंडिकेटर्स कि यहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रियल पोल्यूशन बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है. वी हैव स्पोकन ऑफ दिस कि इंडस्ट्रियल पोल्यूशन कौन से प्लांट्स हमको इंडिकेट करते हैं. सो लाइकन एंड मॉसेस, गार्डन पी, दे आर इंडिकेटर्स ऑफ सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड पोल्यूशन. इंपॉर्टेंट एमसीक्यू अगेन ओवर हियर. देन ब्लैक टिप ऑफ मैंगो लीव्स. मैंगो ट्री की लीव्स जो है उसकी टिप्स ब्लैक होना चालू हो जाती है व्हेन देयर इज मोर सल्फर इन द एयर. अगेन एन इंडिकेशन ऑफ सल्फर. More sulfur in the air, indication of air pollution. Then one more effect of sulfur is it combines with water to form sulfuric acid, which when meets the calcium carbonate, okay, ताजमहल का जो calcium carbonate जो marble है, उस पे जब ये acid rain आती है, जब ये sulfuric acid आता है, it forms calcium sulfate. This calcium sulfate is very unstable compound. It causes pitting of the stone. Stone पे छोटे छोटे pits होते हैं, वो marble पे pits होते जाते हैं, which is called pitting of the stone. It is also called stone leprosy. Important MCQ again. Stone leprosy, sulfur dioxide in the air. Sulfur is reacting with water, sulfuric acid जो acid rain है. When it is reacting with calcium carbonate, that is the marble of Taj Mahal, calcium sulfate बनता है. This calcium sulfate is very unstable. It causes pitting of the stones. It is also called stone leprosy. And Italy and Greece have also reported that their monuments are also getting destroyed because of more sulfur in the air. So this is related to stone leprosy, Taj Mahal, and जो हमने बात की थी कि हमारे cultural assets भी destroy होते हैं pollution से. So this is it, okay? Then it also reduces photosynthesis. It inhibits carbon dioxide on rubisco and pepsisco enzymes. So it inhibits photosynthesis, sulfur dioxide in the air. So all these are the harmful effects of sulfur dioxide. Important MCQs with all of these. Alright. And with the sulfur dioxide, one more important MCQ that you should remember is of the London smog. In 1952, London में एक classical smog हुआ था. That is, the air was polluted. This smog is actually mixture of condensed water vapor, dust, smoke and gases. And the main gas, the principal gas in this London smog was again sulfur dioxide. So London smog 1952, smog is mixture of condensed water vapor, dust particles, smoke and various gases. Sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide being the principal gases in this smog. Important MCQ again with this London smog and sulfur dioxide. The nitrous oxides, that is oxides of nitrogen, which can be NO, NO2, N2O. These can be produced naturally or from combustion process of automobiles, industries and incinerators. These can be the sources of release of nitrous oxides in the atmosphere. When nitrogen oxides, they react with unsaturated hydrocarbons. अब दो प्राइमरी पोल्यूटेंट्स रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं. हाइड्रोकार्बन्स भी प्राइमरी पोल्यूटेंट्स हैं, नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड्स भी प्राइमरी पोल्यूटेंट्स हैं. दे कैन प्रोड्यूस PAN, that is peroxyacyl nitrate, which is a secondary pollutant which is very harmful. Photochemical smog में मोस्टली ये PAN देखा गया है. Okay, and one more is there, peroxyacyl hydrocarbon. These both are secondary pollutants जो reaction से बनते हैं. Also a secondary pollutant which is formed by reaction of nitrous oxide with water is nitric acid, which is present in the acid rain again. We have seen sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid के साथ the next in acid rain is nitric acid, which is again harmful. Also NO2, it is an ozone depleter. हमारा जो ozone layer है which protects us from the UV rays, we'll be discussing further in the chapter. It depletes this ozone layer and it has some mutagenic properties. Alright. Next, all the pollutants on this slide now are important MCQs. Fluoride से fluorosis होगा if the concentration is too high. Mottling of teeth, calcify नहीं होते हैं दांत अच्छे से. Boat shape posture रहेगा, knocking knees रहेगा humans में. It also affects the plants. Alright. Mercury से you have to remember Minamata disease in Japan. Important MCQ. Mercury, Minamata disease, Japan. Increased amount of mercury in water. There was increased amount of mercury which was released into the sewage water, which was released when fish had taken up this mercury in the water. When humans they consumed this fish, there was increased amount of mercury toxicity in the human body. Alright, so you have to remember Minamata disease, Japan with the mercury. Then methyl isocyanate, MIC and phosgene. Pesticide manufacturing company ने release किए थे. This is responsible for the Bhopal gas tragedy BGT in December 1984. Important MCQ, Bhopal gas tragedy, December 1984. Methyl isocyanate and phosgene, pesticide manufacturing company. I would also like you to make a chart of this, various particulate matters from various industries called various diseases. So cotton से होता है bichinosis. We will not go into the detail of what type of features this diseases show, but for MCQs, you have to remember these. Cotton, bichinosis, then smoke, emphysema, iron, siderosis, asbestosis or lung cancer, silica, silicosis, pollen, hay fever, and polonium-210 carcinogen. Mercury we have discussed, fluorides we have discussed methyl isocyanate and phosgene, alright, and we have discussed in detail about carbon monoxide, sulfur oxides, nitrous oxides, hydrocarbons. ये सब हमने discuss किया है. So now all these are the pollutants present in the air which are released by the various sources जो हमने discuss किए हैं. So if we could filter the air before it is released into the atmosphere, अगर हम ये सारे pollutants निकाल सके, हम filter कर सके हमारे waste को, हमारे exhaust को, the air that is coming out from the industries, the exhaust that is coming out from the automobiles, if we could filter it before it is released into the atmosphere, we can reduce air pollution. Alright, so we will now see methods of reducing air pollution or controlling air pollution. That is, we will be removing these air pollutants. We will be making an attempt so that these pollutants are removed before the air is released into the atmosphere. Now, air pollution can be controlled, that is mixing of the pollutants with the fresh air, can be controlled by the following methods. First is the electrostatic precipitator, then the scrubber, then the catalytic converters, then tall chimneys which will leave the exhaust very high in the atmosphere, then unleaded petrol, that is we should use petrol which is not containing lead in it, unleaded petrol, okay, we also call it green petrol. Important MCQ over here. Green petrol is the petrol which will not have lead in it. It is unleaded petrol, okay, and then bag filters. On the tall chimneys of our industries, we can put porous bags of polyteflon or polyethylene. We can put tight porous bags which would filter the particulate matter and rest of the air would go into the atmosphere. So bag filters can be used. Cyclone collectors can be used which will do the process of centrifugation. बहुत बार वो exhaust को घुमाएंगे, centrifugation, okay, circular motion में. So that particulate matter is going to come out and the rest of the air is going to release. And then our plantations. We can have excessive tree plantations. We all know that trees, they help us purify our air. So excessive plantations कर सकते हैं. अब electrostatic precipitator is this kind of a device which can be fitted in the industries. Before the exhaust, before it is put in the air, in the atmosphere, it can be passed through this electrostatic precipitator. इसमें क्या होता है, ये negatively coiled wires रहती है जिसके through a large charge is passed, okay. Large charge is passed. These are negatively charged wires. These are positively charged plates in this electrostatic precipitator. Now dust particles, when they pass from here through these negatively charged wires, they are attracted to the wires and thus they get negative charge. ये negative charge के हो जाते हैं dust particles when they come to these negatively charged coiled wires, and when they pass further, ये negatively charged dust particles attract होते हैं ये positively charged conduction plate. So these negatively charged particles get attracted on the positively charged conduction plate, whereas बाकी का fresh air it passes out. So ये particulate matter को negative charge का बना देता है. Then when it is passing, this should pass slowly. The air should pass slowly from here to here. The velocity of the air should be less. And this is a 99% effective method to remove all the particulate matter. It passes from here, this negatively charged dust particles get attracted to the positively charged conduction plate. So यहाँ पे settle होंगे dust particles, that is the particulate matter, and the fresh air will come. This is the working of an electrostatic precipitator. From here, the dirty air is going inside, okay, with all the gaseous and the particulate matter. Then this is the scrubber. Scrubber में क्या होता है? Mixture of lime and water is used. Important MCQ. Mixture of lime and water inside the scrubber. What happens is जैसे ही dirty air यहाँ से pass होती है, when it comes in contact with the mixture of lime and water, the particulate matter it starts settling down. It reacts over here and it comes down, whereas fresh air comes out from the scrubber. Important MCQ on the scrubber, water and lime spray. It is mostly used for sulfur dioxide particulate matter to filter it out. Okay. This is the scrubber. You will remember it S for scrubber, S for sulfur dioxide or sulfur oxide. So this is how a scrubber works. And catalytic converters, I will just do a diagram and tell you about the catalytic converters. First, we will do the flowchart for this electrostatic precipitator. Here, what we have just discussed, okay? Electrostatic precipitator is going to have electrode wires, which are coiled electrode wires. They are maintained at several thousand volts, 1000 plus volts पे maintained रहेंगे ये wires. They will be producing a series of emissions, series of reactions, and which is called a corona. These will release electrons. Electrons will be negatively charged. These negatively charged electrons over here will attract the dust particles. When the dust particles are attracted over here, they also become negatively charged. Now, when this air with the dirt with the dust particles is passing further in the electrostatic precipitator, it is going to get the negatively charged dust particles will get attracted to the positively charged conduction plate. Thus passes through the conduction plate. Negative and positive attract each other. Dust particles यहाँ पे precipitate हो जाते हैं and clean air comes out. This is easy and simple to remember with this simple diagram of the electrostatic precipitator. Now we want something which can filter the exhaust from our automobiles. When our automobiles are moving, when our car is moving, the exhaust should be filtered before it is released into the atmosphere. Catalytic converters are going to do this work. Catalytic converter is going to be a small kind of chip which is going to present in the which is going to be in the automobiles, which will consist of expensive metals like platinum, palladium, rhodium. Important MCQ. Catalytic converter के साथ platinum, palladium, rhodium, these metals will be present. These are expensive metals. These can convert the harmful gases which are present in the automobile exhaust into harmless gases. Meaning saying जो hydrocarbons, because they are unburnt hydrocarbons, it is not burnt completely in the automobiles. So unburnt hydrocarbons can be converted to carbon dioxide and water when they pass through this catalytic converter, when they pass through this chip. As well as carbon monoxide, जो एक important component है from the automobiles. Carbon monoxide, nitrous oxides can be converted to carbon dioxide and nitrogen gas. So harmful gases are getting converted into harmless gases with this catalytic converter, which can be fitted in the automobiles. Nowadays, number of automobiles is increasing. So we need to do something. The exhaust that is coming out from the automobiles has to be filtered before it comes out in the atmosphere. This work can be done with a catalytic converter which is fitted in the automobiles, in all the vehicles, two-wheelers, four-wheelers. Okay, this will be platinum, palladium, rhodium. Only thing is, for the catalytic converter to function properly, unleaded petrol use करना पड़ेगा. Petrol which is not having lead in it, because lead it inactivates the catalytic converter. Important MCQ. Lead जो है वो catalytic converter की activity को reduce कर देता है. So petrol which is to be used should be with the absence of lead. Okay, unleaded petrol रहना चाहिए, which is called green petrol. So this is all about catalytic converter, electrostatic precipitator, scrubber. Then you have seen tall chimneys रहनी चाहिए जो ऊपर छोड़ेगी atmosphere में. Alright. Then we have seen our plantation. We have seen bag filters, cyclone collectors which will centrifuge and the particulate matter will be separated. All these are methods of control of air pollution. Let us see a case study now relating to air pollution. This case study is from a city from our very own country, that is Delhi. By the year 1990, Delhi was having so much air pollution because of the increased population, because of the increased vehicles, that by the year 1990, Delhi ranked fourth amongst the 41 most heavily polluted cities in the world. It was fourth amongst the 41 in the world. So, there was a public interest litigation filed in the Supreme Court that something should be done to regulate, to have a check, to reduce the pollution of Delhi. Alright? And steps were taken to use CNGs now. All the public transport vehicles of Delhi, they were replaced, the oil tanks were replaced by these gas cylinders, that is compressed natural gas, that is CNG. Because CNG did less pollution. It was burned completely, it burns more efficiently than petrol, and very little of it is unburned as compared to our petrols and diesels. So CNG was a wiser option. They did prove that the pollution has reduced over the years by the use of CNG. Okay, it was cheaper. It cannot be stolen. जैसे कि ट्यूब लगा के पेट्रोल स्टील होता है, वैसे सीएनजी could not be stolen from the vehicles. It cannot be adulterated. उसमें mixing नहीं हो सकती है. Alright. So all these were points which were favoring CNG. The only problem was the distribution points. Pipelines banana throughout the city so that this compressed natural gas could be refilled in these public transport vehicles was one option, which was one problem to this. But they are solving this problem also. The government is trying to solve this problem also. Okay. So, ये steps लिए गए थे by the year 2002, and by 2018 now, Delhi is among the sixth, means the number has come down. From fourth, it has come down to sixth, and the quality of air is improving. But not only CNG has helped, also alternatives like old vehicles को हटा दिया गया system से. Because old vehicles, they burn the petrol very inefficiently. They release a lot of hydrocarbons, release a lot of carbon monoxide. So old vehicles were removed which had old engines. Okay, unleaded petrol, the use of lead in the petrol was discarded, was disapproved. So petrol without lead, that is green petrol, was initiated and was propagated also. And then low sulfur in petrol and diesel. The content of sulfur in petrol and diesel was reduced so as to reduce air pollution. Catalytic converters जो हमने देखे हैं, these catalytic converters were installed in all the vehicles. Then strict laws were there, pollution under control certificates were required by all the vehicles. Pool car, okay, carpool, that is share your car and go, that was also started. You know about odd even. One day odd vehicles will run, the other day even vehicles will run. So all this was started by the government to reduce the pollution in Delhi, and they have been successful in it. But still, because of the increasing population, it is a heavily populated city. Because of that, because of the more number of vehicles, it still has a lot of air pollution. Okay, so this is a case study from India itself, and the government has also given up more laws. Government of India has also come up with a new auto fuel policy, okay, the BS standards, that is the Bharat emission standards, which are compatible with the Euro norms of the Western countries. According to these norms, they are going to give some specific targets that this should be the upper limit of pollutants which can be given out by any vehicle or any internal engine which is operating. If the specific prescribed limit is violated, if it is more than that, then that vehicle will not be sold in the market, and even if it is present in the market, it will be checked and it will be discarded. So this was put up by Government of India again to reduce the pollution of the country. This was instituted in first 13 major cities, the metro cities, and afterward it was rolled out in the complete city. Okay, so Bharat Emission Standards, the BS norms, these are standards set up by Government of India. They specify the amount of air pollutants. They specify the amount of air pollutants released from internal combustion engines. They give you a prescribed value that this should be the specific amount which can be released from a four-wheeler, from a three-wheeler, from a two-wheeler. They give you certain specific limits, okay? And if the pollutant level increase in pollutants than the prescribed limit, then no clearance for such vehicles. If they are violating the prescribed values, then no clearance for such vehicles. So the BS norms, BS1 was started in 1999 to 2000, BS2 in 2001, BS3 in 2010, BS4 in 2017, and currently BS6 in April 2020. These all have started in the month of April, only the year is changing. BS4 के बाद BS5 हमने skip किया है. We have skipped BS5 over here. BS5 is not there. We have directly come to BS6, and all this is what is targeting on is to reduce the sulfur content. So we have been what I can say is somewhat capable of reducing the air pollution of Delhi. Sulfur content को 350 ppm से हम 50 पे BS4 में and to 10 in BS6 we are trying to reduce the level of sulfur in the air, so that it is seen that from 1999 to 2017 the pollution of Delhi has reduced to some extent. The content of sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide in the atmospheric air has come down to certain limits. Alright, so all these laws are essential so that every human being is under control. Actually, we should be doing it by ourselves. There is no necessity that government has to put on laws, okay, because it is our responsibility to protect the environment. This is what we want all of you to understand, okay. So sulfur content को mainly reduce किया है ये BS Bharat Emission Standards ने, and it has also reduced other aromatic hydrocarbons which are released from the vehicle, and we have been successful in reducing the pollution in the major cities by using these laws and norms. The component of noise was added in air pollution later on. The Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act was passed in 1981 by the Government of India. Important MCQ. सिर्फ Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act पूछा है तो 1981 होगा. Noise was added to it in 1987. So 1987 का जो law pass हुआ था, in that noise was added. Important MCQ 1981 alone is for Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. In 1987, noise was added to this law so that noise pollution can also be controlled. Now, we as youngsters, we often associate loud noise with pleasure, with entertainment, okay, our parties. So, often dancing, high volume, you have seen. Nowadays, government has come up with laws that in the residential areas, you cannot have loudspeakers after 10 p.m. Alright, but उसमें भी setting होता है. People go and set up with the police inspector, they go and set up with the law, whichever is come, okay, वो setting कर लेते हैं. They previously also do it कि हमारा इस दिन पे party है, we have to play till 12 o'clock. This should not be done. This should not be done, okay. We have to be responsible citizens till 10 o'clock. Whatever is allowed should be done. After that, noise should not be played. Loud noise, it is often associated with pleasure and entertainment, but chronic continuous exposure to low sound can cause sleeplessness, increased heartbeat, altered breathing, other psychological and physiological disorders in human beings, okay? And very high sound, greater than 150 decibels or more, which is often produced when a jet plane takes off. इतना high sound जो है, it can damage the eardrum. Permanently, it can impair hearing ability. So noise pollution is of low grade as compared to air pollution, but is of importance. We should not be doing more of noise pollution. Okay, bigger the city, bigger the function, and louder the noise. You all know this. In villages, in small cities, you do not have that much of noise pollution. Vehicles भी कम है, so horns का noise भी कम होगा. Now, Government of India has come up with sound absorbent materials, which will be essential for industries. Industries which are producing a lot of noise through its machinery, they need to have sound absorbent doors, sound absorbent walls, so that noise is not disturbing the other areas where the industry is. Okay, so sound absorbent materials are important. Then green muffler. Trees like Ashoka and Neem, when planted on both the sides of the road, can actually absorb the noise, can actually absorb the sound. So this is a biological way in which noise pollution can be controlled. This is called green muffler, important MCQ. Trees of Ashoka and Neem, when planted, they can absorb noise. So noise pollution control करने के लिए अशोका और नीम के trees लगाओ, उसके साथ air pollution भी control होगा. The more plantation you have, air pollution भी control होगा. Horn free zones in front of hospitals, schools, okay, other government institutions, which is very important. Now the government has come up with limitation zones where horns cannot be played. Then timings, I told you. Strict timings are given that this is the time when loudspeakers can be played. After this, no noise of that level should come from any area, from any household, from any party. So that is a limiting zone. Then crackers also. The sound of crackers is also kept under control during festival season. So all this is what about air and noise pollution. But सब कुछ government का करके नहीं होगा. You and I also have to think of it. We have to enjoy life and we have to keep it for our future generations also. So थोड़ा सा limit करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा सा balance करना पड़ेगा. All right?